Hey everybody, Anthony the Crypto Lawyer here, and I wanted to talk about a pretty important subject, and that is what are some of the signs that your spouse owns cryptocurrency? And this is particularly important in a contentious divorce situation because if you know anything about crypto, you know that the temptation to hide or not disclose cryptocurrency is ever present. And it's really important to understand in a divorce situation whether or not your spouse is or will be providing accurate financial disclosures. And in fact, actually, when I was speaking to someone about this very topic one time for an interview, they let it slip that they had, in fact, omitted their cryptocurrencies from their financial disclosures in a divorce because their spouse was none the wiser and had no idea that they had invested in cryptocurrency. So this is something that I think is should be of interest to anyone going through or thinking about going through a divorce. It's particularly ripe when one spouse is technically savvy and the other one is not. Now, there are a number of companies out there that sort of specialize in investigations that are very thorough, yielding very high probabilities of whether or not someone owns crypto, and their methods are proprietary typically. But those are very expensive avenues. So for someone thinking of a more DIY investigation, or maybe a lawyer involved in a litigation wanting some written discovery ideas, it'd be great first if you could get a hold of your or the spouse's main computer, telephone, or email account and get a look at that, because what you're really trying to find is what exchange or exchanges your spouse is using to convert cash to cryptocurrency and vice versa. Once you have the name of the exchange, it's a bit easier to go to them and try to get the information about what currencies are being held there or have been held there, um, if you're legally entitled to that information. So finding the exchange is really the key area, because typically people will use the same exchange over and over again because it's a little bit difficult to get verified and just use an exchange in the first place. So people will not dedicate time to having to find a new exchange if they have one that they like. So first, I would suggest check the spouse's social media, particularly Twitter. Twitter and Discord are some of the two main places that people in the cryptocurrency space get their news and information about what's going on. It's a nascent industry, so there's not really one main repository of news quite yet. So expect to see some sort of activity on either of those two platforms. They may even use some of the cryptocurrency jargon that you've heard me talk about in some of my other videos. So that's sort of a good warning sign or a flag that your spouse may be involved in cryptocurrency. You'll also want to check their phone or computer for cryptocurrency wallet apps like Ledger Live, for example, or MetaMask, Bifrost. There's a whole host. You'll just have to sort of go through the list of available wallet apps and see if any of those are installed on your spouse's computer or phone. A big one though is you can check their emails and text messages for transaction confirmation messages, because exchanges typically urge you or sometimes even require you to have something called two-factor authentication each time you log in, because the scamming problem is very high and the cryptocurrency theft is very high in the industry. So they two-factor authentication requires every time you log in a confirming email or text message being sent to the account user, and that's sort of used to verify the person's identity trying to log in. So you'll see emails from the exchange, the target exchange, in the emails or text messages if your spouse does not delete them. So that's something that you can try. You can also look at bank records, although that's can be a bit harder based on what the exchanges sort of use as their bank identifying name in the bank statements. Um, typically cryptocurrency exchanges require people to deposit cash if they're going to use cash via a wire transfer. So you could see a entry in bank records for that. Another interesting place is a Robinhood account. Some people want the convenience of investing in cryptocurrencies without actually owning any cryptocurrencies. And Robinhood is one place that people can sometimes store those particular types of cryptocurrencies that are offered on that platform. And really, the list goes on and on. I could sit here and talk about 20 different other things. But if that's a good set of starting points for people that are interested in seeing or investigating whether or not their spouse has these types of assets. If you have any other questions or want me to talk about anything else, just leave a comment. And that's it. Go off and search.